All right, back to encounter number 2 from what is this campaign we're playing? The village of Harken. And this is going to be the encounter number 2, the Hall of Vermin. And you can obviously see we got a few new things sitting up on the map here, like a nice little graveyard to put the monsters into their graves when we get them dispatched. Hopefully not the heroes getting dispatched, but you never know. Um, Heroes had a little tough time with what they were doing in the first encounter there. Sometimes bit off a little bit more than they could chew, but they came through well enough. But we just still have all their hit points and their surges updated. And we're just going to go ahead and get rolling and get right on into this. So let me clear the rolls on here. And what we're going to go ahead and do is roll some initiative. And I've actually added into Combat Manager a surprise round. And then you can tell I have some text up here showing for stealth checks against passive perception. Because I would figure that our heroes would be moving, trying to move as stealthily as possible as they approach this next chamber and not wanting to alert anybody. So let's see how well they do. Let's roll some initiative. Get into surprise round initiative. Ooh, Mira and Andrew are at the top. Nice. I like that. Got a lot of monsters in this one. But as you can also tell, there are a lot of minions happening here too. So let's start off with some stealth checks. Start off with Andor. And we're going to see how stealthily, if that's a word, he's actually moving into the chamber here. That would be a 21. So he's pretty quiet. That halfling is quiet. So he is actually going to be able to surprise anybody in there. Let's see about Harbrick with a +1 to his stealth. He is not trained in stealth. Let's see how well he's doing. Not too bad. 13, the giant rats will be alerted. He does. The goblin hexer and the cutters and the fire beetles won't be alerted, but looks like any of the giant rats before his initiative spot in the surprise round will be alerted. Let's try Mira with a +2. Oh, yes. Mira, after her trouble in that first chamber, has definitely it kicked it up a notch here, and it's got that natural 20 out there. Doesn't mean anything for skill checks, but still nice to roll. So she's moving pretty silently. Let's see what about Perrin, our noisy +0 cleric. Come on, roll high. That's not bad. That's 10. All right. So with that, yeah, I think we're not going to get our surprise round happening here because of Perrin. Thanks again, Perrin. He, with that 10 on his stealth roll, something happened and caused everybody to be alerted to the hero's presence in the chamber, or before Perrin's turn to be alerted in the chamber. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play it to the where there is not a surprise round because of that, because he did not even beat the Fire Beetles or the Goblin Cutters or the Hexer, and definitely not the Giant Rats. What I usually would have done was just had say, okay, everybody in higher initiative order right now for the surprise round above Perrin could act within there, but they're all aware. So we're just going to go ahead and go through these turns real quick, get up to round 1, and we're going to roll with it that way. All right, Mira, she is up first. Let's see what we want her to do. You know, I'm thinking a scorching burst would be beautiful from right where she's at right now, and laying down an area burst 1 within 10 and seeing what she can do here. Let's go ahead and grab our fire. And that's this one here. And let's get it to size. And let's see where we want to put it. Do we want to try to do it like right there? Because these cutters are minions, and these dire rats are minions too. Oh, we might be able to get them all out of the way that way too. I don't know. Because I don't think I want to try to only get 2. I want to maximize. So that's 4 there. Oops, scoot the map just a little bit. Let's get it back to where it was. But I think I can get 5 there potentially. Let's go ahead and do that. Mira's coming into the room here. She's going to lay down a scorching burst right on top of all the rats and one of the goblin cutters on these giant rats. So she is going to be doing a +5 versus their reflex. Now these guys, these giant rats have a reflex of 15 and the cutters have 14. So let's see how well she does with her +5. Nothing really we can bolster it right now besides heroic effort. We'll see what happens. All right, so we'll roll on Goblin Cutter number 3 first. And he's got his reflex of 14. And that's going to be a hit on him. Awesome. Now let's roll it again on the giant rat number 1 with a reflex of, where'd they go? 15. So let's roll it up. That's going to miss on number 1. Now, she does have heroic effort, which you miss with an attack or fail a saving throw, you gain a +4 bonus. But that +4 is only going to bring us up from an 8 to a 12. And then also she has the Wand of Accuracy. You gain a +2 bonus to a single attack roll. So not really close enough to use it right there. We'll go ahead and leave giant rat number 1 alive at the moment. I guess I could have put 6, but that 14 is still, if I put the 4 onto the 8, it's 12 plus a 2 more from the wand. That's only 14. That's not going to be enough to hit the 15. Let's go ahead and try another roll for the giant rat number 2. Oh, that's a critical hit on a minion. Yeah, kind of overkill, but we'll still roll the damage just for the fun of it. All right, let's roll it again on giant rat number 3. Nice, 17. Rolled right off that 7 onto the 17. We'll take that. That's a hit on number 3. And last but not least, number 4, giant rat number 4. See if we can take these guys out. That will be a hit. Okay, so with her damage, now obviously they're minions, so 1 damage is going to kill them. On a minion, I guess like giant rat number 1, he has an ability called Missed Attack, a trait, I should say. A Missed Attack never damages a minion. So we did miss with the attack, but I guess the interrupts could have affected it too, which turns it not from a miss to a, I guess, let's see. You miss with an attack or you fail a saving throw. You gain a +4 bonus to the saving throw. I don't know. I'm not sure how that rules out because it does say in there the trigger is you miss with an attack. Well, with a minion, if you ever miss them, you do not do damage. So that going forward, let's roll some damage for the Scorching Burst. 1d6 plus 5. And this is what it'll do to all those creatures. Ooh, max damage, 13 on all of them. Okay, so our first casualty of war is going to be Goblin Cutter number 3, who is going to take 13 damage. Obviously, he's gone to the graveyard. And then giant rat number 1 is able to get out from under that burst. Giant rat number 2 is going to take that 13 damage, and it is going to go to the graveyard. Giant rat number 3, where are you hiding? There you are. 13 damage. It's gone to the graveyard. And giant rat number 4 right after Andor. 13 damage. Boom. And we have 3 monsters already into the graveyard. Not too bad for Mira. Now, she does have a move and a minor. Nothing really she can do with her minors at this moment. And also for actions in combat, with minors, there's not really much she can do that way. So we'll go ahead and leave it there. She's not going to just drop prone in the back of the... I keep saying that each time, but it's kind of funny. Minor action, nothing there. Move action, I think I'm just going to have her hold right now to where she's at. She's got her party members in front of her, see how they move out and go from there. Let's go ahead and remove the zone. And that should be good for Mira's action. Not too bad. We dropped out 4 creatures in the first turn of the first round. Goblin Cutter number 1. All right. So with these Goblin Cutter, where's the Hexer? Oh man, he's like way down there. So, we're going to be able to get a good chance here for this. So Goblin Cutter number 1. After seeing his buddy go, they want to stay close to the Hexer because they are protectors of the Hexer. So what he's going to do is he's got a speed of 6. He's going to move back down. 1, 2, 3. He's going to hold his ground right there. And then he's going to ready a short sword attack. So let's add that on here. And I'm going to put this on his token too. Ready, attack. This way it will remind me just in case it does come up. And we'll see. I'll also put it on Combat Manager here too for the Goblin Cutter. He's readied. Attack. It's beneficial. It will end on his next turn. Okay. We'll leave that there. And nothing you really do with the minor. Also, the rat does not have goblin tactics. We did hit the other goblin, so no moving that way. And we'll leave him right there. Andor, my man, is up next. Now, he has this wonderful feat called First Strike. At the start of every encounter, you have combat advantage against any creature that has not acted yet. I wonder what we should do with him. Because those Fire Beetles do have 32 hit points. We probably want to have Andor and Harbrick get up in there and see if they can take care of these Fire Beetles quite quickly before they can start doing any sort of damage. And then maybe have Mira and Perrin focus and concentrate on the Hexer and everything else. Let's find out. Let's do that. So Andor, I think I'll have him come in, move his 6, and I want to try to get him back around the backside of these guys. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, don't like that. Because if I stick him there, he's automatically in combat. He's automatically flanked. Maybe we can get him over to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good spot. Let's get him there. And then maybe go 6 here and let the Fire Beetle take a opportunity attack against Andor, because Andor has these 2 wonderful traits, these racial features and a class feature, to where he gets a +5 racial bonus to AC against opportunity attacks. So let's have Fire Beetle number 1 make a melee bite against him +6, and this is going to be against Andor's AC of 22. No, 20. Yeah, 22. So Fire Beetle number 1 will make a bite attack, which is a +6 versus Andor's AC of 22. And that is a natural 1. That is always a miss. So the Fire Beetle is not able to get any sort of a strike in on Andor as he scurries around it real quick. and then he is going to do a sly flourish. I guess he could do a death strike to where he shifts. He can move 2 more squares, but he may provoke another one from number 2. Let's not take the chance. He's in a good spot right there. So he is not taking the that that Fire Beetle has not taken its action yet this turn, so its first strike will come into play. Let's Sly Flourish, +9 versus AC against AC of 13. Ooh. Hope we don't miss this one. 16 + 9 is 25. That is going to be a hit. All right, Sly Flourish, and we will do 1d4 + 8 plus 2d8 damage for his sneak attack. So 1d4 + 8 plus 2d8. Come on, big rolls. Ooh, nice. 23 damage on Fire Beetle number 1. That is a nice hit, Andor. Damaged on there, instantly bloodied. He's got 9 hit points left. This is working out perfectly. I like it. So with that, minor actions, he doesn't want to use his armor. He's not hit by attack. Nothing else is going on. He's in a good spot there. I wish Harbrick was able to go before Fire Builder number 2. He could jump right in there and get a cleave. But we'll see. Let's go ahead and move on from Andor's turn. He did have a move. He had his standard in a Sly Flourish, and we will go on from there. Goblin Cutter number 4. Obviously, he is going to get back around to protecting his Hexer also. So let's move him 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to ready an action on him too, a ready an attack with his short sword. Let's do that. And I'll put that on here too for him, just in case anybody comes into melee. And it's beneficial. All right, so we should have Goblin Cutter number 1's got a ready to attack. Goblin Cutter number 4 has a ready to attack, just in case. And he's going to hold right there. Fire Beetle number 2. You know what? I think he's probably going to use his fire spray. Close Blast 3. But how is he going to do that? They like their little rubble spot they're at, so maybe I have him move forward 1, and then his fire spray, close Blast 3, is going to look something like this. So he can just put it like there, like that, or even like that. And he's just going to try to hit Andor with that. See what he can do. All right, so that's going to be +4 against reflex. What's Andor's reflex is 16, so not the highest, but there again, he's got some things he could probably do just in case this thing hits, because it's going to do 3d6 + 1 fire damage. So he's going to do his fire spray. I'm going to go ahead and hit used on that so I don't forget it. And we'll roll the 1d20 + 4 versus reflex of Andor at 16. Ooh, does he hit? No, he doesn't hit. Woohoo! He expended the use of that fire spray, and he didn't hit. And he's also leaving himself in there for a nice cleave from Harbrick. So that was a move and a standard. Let's go ahead and go over to Harbrick's turn. He's got a movement of 5, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, because that is difficult terrain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because we definitely want him to have flanking, or do we want him to go down here? So he's got movement 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We'll do that flanking, but then he's not in a cleave area, because if I get him here, he's not flanking against number 1, but he can cleave it, and or could shift, and they could try to get out number 2. Oh, wait. What am I thinking? If we move him here, so if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, he can attack number 2. He can mark it with his attack. So if he tries to attack Andor again, he can get an opportunity attack against it. And then he could possibly cleave into number 1. Won't finish it because number 1 does have still, it's bloodied with 9 hit points, but it could still possibly get an extra 3 on there. So let's see how that happens. We'll have Andor do his cleave action. +7 versus AC of the Fire Beetle number 2, which is 13. These guys feel a little bit squishy at that AC. See what happens, though. Oh, that's a critical hit, boys and girls. Beautiful. 20. Nice. Harbrick jumps on in there, cleaves into number 2. Does his 2d6, well, it's going to be max damage, so 12 plus 4 is going to be 16 damage. Am I getting that right? Yep. Yep. And then he's going to do an extra d6, so let's roll that one for his thunder damage from his magical maul, his resounding maul. So he's going to get 12 plus an extra 2. 16 plus an extra 2. So 18 damage on Fire Beetle number 2. Nice hit. Boom. Hits him good, instantly bloodies him. Now, this was a cleave attack. So it says, and an enemy adjacent to you other than the target takes 3 damage. So Fire Beetle number 1 will take another 3 damage. Beautiful usage of cleave there, and nice timing for a critical hit. What a perfect spot. He used a move. He doesn't have a minor. Doesn't need to use second wind right now. They're kind of jumping in there and knocking these things around. So, doing a good job right now. We'll see what happens after that. Let's move on from Harbrick. We'll leave him right there. Perrin is next. Does he have anything AoE? He does have grasping shards. We can do area burst 1 within 10 each creature in the burst. He probably could hit all of those creatures down there, maybe take out some more of these minions. It is an area burst 1. I'm not sure how that's going to work. They take 3 radiant damage, but that could really soften up all those minions too. It is an encounter power. What else has he got here? He's got his Lance of Faith. Radiant damage, he'll get a +2 attack bonus to the next person. That might be our best route right there. Is maybe have Perrin move in and see if he can get target onto that Hexer. I think he can. If he comes down, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. I think his corner will go through the corner towards not going through anybody else. Yep, and he could get a Lance of Faith and maybe give Mira that +2 to her next attack roll against the Hexer. Maybe she could lay down another Scorching Burst and see if she can soften him up. Let's give it a try. Lance of Faith. Now, it's going to be +4 versus Reflex against the Hexer's Reflex of 15. But now I need to keep in mind that the Hexer has a triggered action that is an immediate interrupt. The trigger is when targeted by a ranged attack, and Perrin's Lance of Faith is a ranged 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. What's going to happen is the goblin hexer can change the attacker's target to an adjacent ally of its level or lower. So it's almost kind of like a deflection. So let's first of all see if this thing hits. And then the hexer will change it to number 4, who has a readied action, to be the target of that's adjacent to him. Kind of an interesting little shenanigans he has there. Yeah, let's give it a shot. So Lance of Faith, well, I guess it's now going to target that cutter number 4. So the reflex is going to be 14. So +4 versus reflex of 14. And that's going to hit. So obviously with Lance of Faith, 1d8 +4. So definitely 10 damage, which is going to hit that goblin number 4. Where'd he go? There he is. He had a ready action, and he just took 10 radiant damage and joined him into the graveyard. Let's go ahead and take off his ready action because he can't ready when he's dead. And then after the radiant damage, and one ally you can see gets a +2 power bonus to their next attack roll against the target. Now, he did initially target number 1, but here's the question. The hexer's immediate interrupt makes it target, what did it say? Makes it an ally. The goblin hexer can change the attack target to there. So with parents on there, that +2 kind of becomes null and void in my mind, because he changed the target and he's now gone. So it just kind of, he killed one minion, but Mira doesn't get anything. So I think that's why I think I'm going to play it, because of the hexer's immediate interrupt. Now, if it was an immediate reaction and it had something different saying like it deflects it to a target adjacent to it or something like that, then we may have been something different. But this one here actually reads, the goblin hexer can change the attack's target to an adjacent ally of its level or lower. So it changes the attacker's target, because when it's targeted by a ranged attack, not when it's hit by a ranged attack, it's when it's targeted, so it's an interrupt. So we'll go ahead and play it like that. Parents kind of shocked a little bit there. He was targeting after the hexer, and all of a sudden it just kind of deflects right off him and goes right to the cutter right next to him. So moving on. Minor actions, don't need healing words right now. Yeah, nothing really else we can do. Let's go ahead and go on from there. Goblin Hexer number 1. Okay. What he's going to do, he is going to do his Vexing Cloud as a standard action. Now, I got to bring this out. This is an area burst 3 within 10. So let's bring his multicolor. We'll pull out green. It's kind of more like a hex, a necrotic hex or something. Area burst 3. Okay, that's not 3. That's 3. So he can place it anywhere he wants within the room. I mean, he can go up like this. That way he's kind of catching everybody in the hex right now. Let me make sure that's an area burst 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think it's quite the 3. Okay, here is 1, 2, 3. No, that's right. That's the 3. Okay. So where do we want to have him put this? Because what's going to happen is the burst creates a zone that lasts until the end of the goblin's next turn. Enemies take a -2 penalty to attack rolls while in the zone. So, that being said, also, and then it's a sustained minor. The zone persists until the end of the game. So this could stay up as long as his goblin's here. He can use a minor action to keep it there. This way, when he keeps it there, enemies take a -2 penalty to attack rolls while in the zone. So everybody got their turns off there now. Now this Hexer lays this vexing cloud in the chamber. Yeah, because it's a area burst 3 within 10. He's going to put it right there. No damage gets taken, but everybody gets a -2 penalty to their attack rolls. We'll just have to remember that underneath there we do have some difficult terrain for if moving off or moving into. But for right now, let me put some text on here. -2. I better put enemies. -2 to attack rolls. So we'll just leave it on there and not put it into the here as a condition or something like that. That is an encounter power. Vexing Cloud will be used by there. He still does have a minor and a move action, but I think he's going to stay right there and get his minions to go around him because the next one up is Goblin Cutter number 2. And so he is going to move 1, 2, come down here, and then he is going to also ready in action. Ready an attack just in case somebody comes into melee with them. Or until the Hexer gives them any other commands. But right now, they just know they come surround him to kind of keep him alive at the moment. With that, let me put that on here too. Cutter has ready attack. Beneficial to the end of his next turn. All right. I think we got Cutter number 1 coming up too, but nobody's gone into melee with him yet, so they're kind of just sitting back there as targets to be deflected from. Well, we'll see how that works on Mira's next turn. Giant Rat number 1. He is up and off into the zone. He is not an enemy, and he is going to bite at Perrin. Okay, so that bite is a +6 versus AC. And Perrin's AC is at 17. Ooh, rolled right off that 16. Perrin kind of ready for it, and understanding from the last encounter and in the chamber that they had fought the other goblins, you need to be ready for everything. So I'm sure what Perrin has done here is brought up, kind of blocked it off with his mace or whatever he's holding at the moment or dodged out of the way of this attack of this giant rat rushing towards him. And that's pretty much all we can do there. Fire Beetle number 1, bloodied and down to 6. Oh yes, I forgot. We need to put on here. Marked by Harbrick. So number 2 is marked because Harbrick has combat challenge. Whenever an enemy marked by you is adjacent to you and shifts or makes an attack that does not include you as the target, you can make an opportunity attack. And then combat superiority, an enemy adjacent to you provokes an opportunity attack by leaving a square or use a ranged power or anything like that. You get a +2 bonus to the attack roll opportunity attacks. That's nice. So he is in this vexing cloud. He's got marked number 2 from his attack, his cleave attack on there. Every time you attack an enemy, whether the attack hits or misses, you can choose to mark that target. Well, he did target the cleave, did target number 2, and then it carried over into number 1. So we'll leave that at there. So number one, he got hit pretty hard by the halfling, so I think he's going to try to bite at the halfling, or I think he'll probably try to fire spray. I think he's going to do his little fire spray out there, because number two did it first. Now we'll have number one fire spray like this at Andor and see what he can do. So, +4 versus reflex, which Andor's reflex is 16. So we'll add a +4 to that, see what happens. 14 plus 4 is going to be 18. It's going to be enough to hit. Now, Andor has second chance. You were hit by an attack. Well, he's hit by the fire spray attack. The attacker must re-roll the attack and use the second roll. I think we're going to use that this turn because that fire beetle can do 3d6 plus 1. There is a chance we could roll some small damage. I'm not going to take it at this point here, and I'm going to go ahead and do his second chance and make that fire beetle re-roll that and see what happens and take the second roll. Hopefully it's not a critical. 17 still a hit. No luck, Andor, no luck. Let's go ahead and do the 3d6 plus 1 and hope for low rolls. Oh my gosh. That is 1 away from critical. It rolled 2 6s and a 5. 18 damage from fire on Andor. That is going to bloody him. That hurt. Ooh, that fire beetle. What a pain in the butt. He used the second chance. Let's look over at Perrin. An enemy scores a critical hit. It was not a critical hit. You hit an enemy with an attack made with a holy symbol. That's a daily. +1 attack next saving throw. There's nothing they can do. Nothing triggered action-wise. Mirrors are all for herself. So Andor, he is sitting at 4 hit points right now. He needs to get some healing, and pretty bad. So his turn's coming up, and Goblin Cutter number 1's not near to him. So I think we're okay at the moment, but he's got to get away from those guys. That hurt. That really, really hurt. So Fire Beetle number 1 used its there, so it doesn't recharge. And that was nasty. Mira's turn. You know, Mira, being the wise, intelligent wizard that she is, or I should say just intelligent, she's pretty wise still too. She got a 12 plus 1. We're going to have her move 1, 2, 3, 4. And now she's out of that zone when she makes her attack. So now let's have her do another scorching burst. This way it's an AoE attack, and it's not target. It's each creature in the burst. So it's not individually targeting, because I think the hexers is when it's targeted. It can change the attack there. So it's area burst. The area burst is what's targeting, but I don't think it's the actually targeting it. So let me throw a prompt up here again. I guess I should have kept the fire one out. What she's going to do is she's going to lay it down there, like right there. And I could just say, well, she targets number 2, or whatever, targets number 1, but we'll put it there just for it that way. So the hexer is just kind of in the zone. It's targeted by the area, not targeted by the enemy. That's how I'm going to play that one. When targeted by a ranged attack. Well, this is an area burst within 10 squares. So I guess it is ranged. Let me look that up real quick. Is a burst a ranged attack? A burst starts in an origin square and extends in all directions. For example, the cleric power first strike, blah, 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 blah. Unless a power describes no otherwise, a close burst you create does not affect you. However, okay, that's not really telling me too much. Let's see if there's something about ranged attack. Okay, range. Some powers set a specific range or allow you to attack any target you can see. If you're using a weapon, it's ranged. Yeah, long range. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and play it like I was thinking. It's an area burst, so the range is targeting a spot, and then it bursts out from there. So it's not actually targeting a creature. So let's do that with the Scorching Burst, +5 versus Reflex. We'll go first against the cutter number 1, whose reflex of 14. That's a hit. Let's go cutter number 2, a reflex of 14. 10. Oh, we can get that up though there. Let's use her heroic effort and get that one to be a hit too. Awesome. So that heroic effort you miss with an attack or fail a saving throw, you gain a +4 racial bonus to the attack roll or saving throw. So that is an encounter power triggered action, basically an effect or whatever you want to call it. So add the 4 to the 10 becomes a 14 on the cutter, which will be enough to hit it. Now let's try the hexer. Which the hexer has a 15 reflex. And that's going to be enough to hit with a 20. All right, we're going to take out 2 more goblins, got ready to actions there, and let's hit that hexer too a little bit. So, Scorching Burst, 1d6 +5. Ooh, that's going to be 8 damage. Okay, so Goblin Cutter, number 1, takes 8 damage. He's gone. Take his text off there because he is no longer ready in action. Goblin Cutter number 2 takes the 8 damage. He is now gone. Off to the graveyard with you. And the Goblin Hexer takes 8 damage. Now down to 38. Still got a lot of hit points on there, but still a nice hit by Mira. And to get out of that zone, to not take that -2, because that could have actually affected her on that second hit. So the heroes are doing a great job here right now. Besides the fact, let's take the zone away now. It's almost like the Hexer and Mira are just like staring each other down right now as everyone else is involved. So Mira, good job. No really minor action she can do here at the moment. More worried about Perrin because he's just critical hit. Gain a +1 bonus to your next attack roll. Channel Divinity, return in dead, another channel. Yeah. He really needs to get a healing strike on there and then get in hit and then maybe shift back and use a minor. I don't know. We got to do something for Andor. Okay, so Andor is up next. First thing he is going to do, I think, will be to strike the Fire Beetle with a Sly Flourish strike. He's going to do that first. Unless he wants a positioning strike, but I don't think if we position it and he recharges that fire spray again, that could be nasty. Because number 2 is up, and he'll be checking to see if he can recharge or not. And then he's got both Andor and, but he's also got his buddy there too. So with Andor, let's go ahead and do a positioning strike, and not positioning strike, a sly flourish strike with a -2 to the attack roll against the Fire Beetle number 1. So that's going to be a +9, -2. So I'll just go ahead and take 2 off, down to 7. Sly flourish against AC of the Fire Beetle, 13. And he's flanking, so he gets another +2, right? Let me check it out. Because he has combat advantage against him, right? I think combat advantage gives you a +2 to attack rolls. Yep. So he gets his +2 back up for his flanking. I don't think I gave him the +2 on the last time. And he's also going to do his sneak attack damage. So we probably most likely will end this thing. We'll first got to hit it, though. AC 13. Oh, why? Okay, so Andor, he's hurting pretty bad after that fire spray by that beetle, and bloodied him quite immensely and quickly. And so he's kind of not in his own element, and then that's why he's strike miss. And he already took his second chance. No, that's a hit by attack. Yep, that's all he can do. But what I'm going to have him do now, because that fire beetle could come in there and do some bad stuff, and his turn will be before. So, golly, I really wish that would have hit, but we rolled that natural nasty one, and it just pretty much ruined it all. That was a sly flourish too. He still does have a minor, nothing really else he can do there. He used his second chance for being hit by the route one that really knocked him good, but then it hit him again too. So he really wants to stay. You know what? Do we take the chance of the opportunity attack to kind of get him away and out of a zone of, well, there's a wall right there. Let's just have him shift back 1. He's just going to use his move action to shift back 1 and hold right there. That way he can still kind of hold combat advantage unless he wants to come down here, and then he's the sole proprietor of a possible, another attack. But then they can kind of get into the room a little bit more. Gosh, I don't know. Does he want to go back, or does he want to go just down? Okay, because he was here. 1. And if he moves there, he'll take an opportunity attack from both 1 and 2. So no, let's just leave him right there. Let's leave him right there and call it a turn. And move on. Now, here we go. Does the fire spray recharge? 5 or 6 recharges. It does not. Yes. So now the good thing is, though, it is marked by Harbrick. So if it attacks Andor, who Andor just moved into its area, it is going to take a nasty opportunity attack from Harbrick. Well, not nasty, but an opportunity attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d6, and I'm going to say Harbrick is odds, Andor is evens. And let's see who the fire beetle is going to attack. That is an even, so that means it's going after Andor. Okay, so fire beetle number 2 will target Andor with a +6 versus AC. And that is going to be against Andor's AC of 17. Okay. Oh, that's going to be a hit. Arg. And 2d8 +2. Andor could be dropping. He could be dropping here. Does Perrin have any sort of interrupts? That's not a critical hit. And free action +1 attack roll. Nope. It's got to be a critical hit to be that interrupt. Oh, Andor. Yeah, we might have to be playing some dying rules now. We'll see. 2d8 +2 bite damage. Ouch. And Andor's only got 4 hit points. We need minimum, and that's not enough. That's going to be 8 damage on Andor. 8 damage, and that is going to put him unconscious. Andor is now prone and unconscious. I'm going to say out. He is out. He is at -4 hit points. Oh boy. So, let's look up dying real quick. In the unending exploration of unknown and the fight against monster, death looms as a constant danger. Even so, death is not necessarily the end in Dungeons & Dragons game. Dying. When an adventurer's hit points drop to 0 or fewer, he or she falls unconscious and is dying. So I'm just going to put a thing on here for Andor. Dying. Oops. And keep it Andor. And what's going to happen is at the end of the target's next turn, he's got to make a saving throw. I wonder if there was something else on there. Nope. Just end of the target. I'll figure it out from there. Ooh, Andor. That was not very kosher, buddy. If kosher is a word. He is unconscious, -4. From that fire beetle, that nasty fire beetle. But what's going to happen now is, since the fire beetle attacked Andor, whenever an enemy marked by you is adjacent to you and shifts or makes an attack that does not include you as the target, you make a melee basic attack against that enemy. And an enemy adjacent to you provokes an opportunity attack, which he is there. You get a +2 bonus. So he's going to get his regular bonus on there. And he could drop to try to get some more damage on there too, but we're going to have him do his reaping strike. I'm sorry, his melee basic, because it is a, it's not a, it's got to be a melee basic attack for the, which his cleave and his reaping strike are not melee basics. So 1d20 +7 versus AC against 13, because of the +2 knocks out the -2 to the zone. So we'll just keep it a +7. And that's going to be against armor class 13. That will be enough to hit. 18. He will do 2d6 +4. Nice. 14 damage. And that is enough to kill it. Oh my gosh. Now wait a second here. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. I think I did this all wrong, because combat challenge power is an immediate interrupt. It happens before the beetle's attack goes off. And so now that he's done 14 damage onto the beetle, all that just happened to Andor goes away. So Andor, let me put his 8 healing back on. Actually, sorry, no, he needs 4. He was down to 4. He is no longer dying. Harbrick saved him. So 14 damage on to the fire beetle puts it into the graveyard. So what happened is the fire beetle, we did the roll off where the fire beetle decided to go after Andor. Let me take his out off because he is not dying or he's not out. And since he attacked Andor, Harbrick, his combat challenge power is an immediate interrupt. That happens immediately. And then anytime he takes an opportunity action, he gets the +2, and that's how that all rolled out. But it's an immediate interrupt. So that happens before the actual bite of the beetle. So, nice. I'll take that. Beetle into the graveyard. Yes. So, awesome opportunity attack by Harbrick. I guess he could have took a -2 to that, added a +2, actually a +3 because he's got a two-handed maul to that, which he still would have hit too. But we did not call it ahead of time, so we'll just keep playing it the way we got. Yeah, we're cleaning him up pretty well. Fire Beetle number 2, exactly 0 hit points, drops out. Now it's Harbrick's turn because that was the Fire Beetle's turn. And Harbrick obviously is going to reaping strike that. He's going to reaping strike. Or does he want to get that giant rat? No, he's going to take out the fire beetle. He doesn't want the chance of that thing recharging and doing that more fire damage. So he's going to reaping strike. That fire beetle. Yeah, I think we do that because we can't cleave. There's not another adjacent enemy. So it's reaping strike +7 versus AC of 13 on the fire beetle. Then also that is going to be a -2 for the zone, so it'll be a +5 on there because he does not have flanking with him anymore. Unless he wants to take a -2 to do more damage, but I think we're good. We'll just go with the +5 against 13 AC. That's not enough. With that, I think we'll have Harbrick. He's still got a move action. Should we have him go up like here? Or should we have him go down or up like that so that when... because the fire beetle can still shift on its turn if it lives that long. Yeah, I'm going to have Harbrick shift right there because what I'm going to do is probably have Perrin come over and healing strike it and see if he can get some healing onto Andor at that point. So Harbrick will shift over there, or does he want to shift here? No, because he was there. Now he's shifting down there. I missed with that attack too. Man, that Fire Beetle number 1's been lucky twice. Let's have him shift down. I'm not worry about the combat advantage because we got the rat there, and then we also have this Hexer there too that we need to get it taken care of. All right, moving on from there to Perrin. We're going to have him move over to here, take an opportunity attack from the giant rat. So he'll do a +6 versus AC onto Perrin, which Perrin's AC is at 17. Ooh, I saw that 20 rolling around. That is a miss. Okay, that's good. Now let's go back to Perrin. I keep forgetting about action points. I could I'm going to retcon here real quick. Let's go back. I'm going to retcon because I am going to. Well, no, because action points don't renew until they don't renew until an extended rest, right? I don't know if I have that information up here or not. Let me look it up. Okay. You can use it as a free action, gain an extra action once per encounter or round. The adventurer can spend an action point once per encounter. In contrast to monster, okay, that's monsters. Action points allow creatures to take more actions than normal. Adventurers start each with one action point, and some monsters have action points as noted in their stat block. Typically, an adventurer spends an action point to pull off an extra attack, to move further than normal, to take a second one, blah, blah, blah. A creature must have an action point. Well, when do you get it back? A creature gains an extra action during its current turn. The action can be a standard move or minor. Some creatures have special abilities. All right. Well, when do we gain an action point is the question. Is it after a short rest or is it after an extended rest? I think it's after an extended rest. Yep. At the end of an extended rest, a creature loses all unspent action points, but refreshes with one action point. So, if I have Harbreck use his action point, we already rolled the attack on the other one. So let's just go back. Yeah, I'm not going to have him use his action point right now. We'll save it for the next encounter. Because they're not going to stop in this cave and take an extended rest. They are moving on. So, Perrin comes in. He is going to do his healing strike, which is an encounter power, on this fire beetle, to try to get some healing onto Andor. So it's going to be kind of tough because it's +3 versus AC, and he's in the zone. Unless I have him come up and do flanking, he could do 1, 2 like that, get into flanking, which is a little bit better, and then he'll remain his his healing strike will remain at +3 instead of +1. So let's do that. And it's going to be against armor class 13 on the Fire Beetle. Come on, Perrin, we need you right now. That's a critical hit, boys and girls. Yes, that's the second one this session here. Critical hit. Rolled a natural 20. Beautiful, Perrin. Beautiful. Basically, what's going to happen is he's going to do 2d8 plus 2, so that's 16, 18 radiant damage on beetle number 1, and that's going to send it to the graveyard. Goodbye. And also within that too, and you mark the target, it's gone. In addition, you or one ally within 5 squares you can spend a healing surge, and he gets an extra +3 for that healing surge. So, oh man, Andor just even down too. So we'll have him spend a healing surge. He's going to gain 6 hit points back. Then what I'm going to have Perrin do is, now that he's not in melee with anybody, he's going to use a healing word, his first healing word, and he's going to allow Andor to use another healing surge. He's down to 2. And so he'll get another 6, and then it will give him an extra, I keep forgetting the +3s also too. Oh, well, it'd be 6 basically. So basically, when he did the healing strike, he gets an extra +3. He gets a 6 for the healing surge plus the +3. So I'll just throw 2 +3s on there for Andor. Heal, heal, and that should be good. I think he should be good with that. 22 of 25. And Andor's only got 2 more. This is getting crazy. And he also gets an additional 1d6. So let's roll the 1d6. 1. Okay, whatever. Healing. Okay, up. Oops, I put the healing on the wrong person. Andor, healing. 23. Okay. There we go. Nice job, Perrin. Critically smashes the Fire Beetle with his mace, and surges out radiant power into Andor, heals him, then stands his ground where he's at and calls out more healing from his deity, and heals Andor even almost back up to full. So nice job, Perrin. Good deal. All right. Next up, the Hexer. I don't think there was anything I could have Perrin else do too. Nope. No minors. Well, he'd used his healing word on there, so yep. Goblin Hexer. All right. Where does he want to move this zone? Obviously, he's going to want to move this zone probably like this, because he needs to get Mira in that zone. That's too funny. She could just move right back out too. Maybe he does this to kind of keep her at bay, but then she can move up or she can move over, or move down over. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that he would probably want to get her in the zone, and then also keep it close to him. Maybe even put himself in the zone like this, so that he can maintain his concealment with that vexing zone as a minor action. And then maybe you'll have him move over to. He's got no more allies next to him, unless he wants to move up to the rat. But then I think he's getting ready to kind of bolt if he can, and get the heck out of here, because I mean, all that's left is this rat that's a minion and himself. So with that being said, let's go ahead and have him I think he's going to do a stinging hex onto Mira, because she really did some good damage. Well, she didn't do huge damage on him, but still hit him for about 8 damage last round. So I think he's going to repay the favor. And what I think I'll have him do is he'll stay here first, and then he'll move somewhere after, depending on what happens with the stinging hex. It is a recharge, so let's go ahead and use it. +7 versus will. And Mira's will is at 14. Ooh. Oh, he rolled a 3. It does not have any triggers either. When an ally uses goblin tactics. Nope, all the goblins have been hit. So, he raises his hexer rod up and shoots out at Mira. Mira, completely prepared for it, as you know, the zone comes over and everything, moves out of the way, and the attack smashes up against the wall, and the energy bursts there. I guess it's just regular hexing damage too, but it just says damage. The target takes 3d6 +1 damage if it moves during its turn. Save ends. Okay. Oh, if it moves during his turn. So that's kind of like a curse. So the curse does not affect. She's able to overcome it with her will. Um, yeah. So he's got a speed of 6. I think he's going to go 1, 2, 3. I think we'll move him there, kind of out of his zone. He looks kind of like he's wanting to bolt out of here. Maybe go off into the next chamber or the next area and warn everybody else. All right, the rat's turn. All right. Is the rat focused upon Perrin still, or is it focused upon Harbrick, the new target? Let's find out. There again, we'll do Harbrick will be odds, and Perrin will be evens. 1d6. It is odds, so he is going to go after Harbrick. He'll scoot over 1, and he is going to bite. 1d6 plus, 1d20 plus 6 versus Harbrick's AC of 18. Ooh, that is not enough to hit it. 9 plus 6 is 15. That is not enough. So, that did not work, but it got the rat into melee with him. All right, Mira, seeing that he is trying to kind of escape there a little bit, you know what she's going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She can't get out of the zone. She can't get out of it. Dang it. I was hoping, well, she could. She could go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 4. Actually, be a 1, 2, 3. And then she is going to, I think she's going to try a ray of frost. And the target is slowed until the end of your next turn. That way, she'll give a chance for everybody to get in there. So does she want to do that, or does she want to hit him with some good damage? She's out of the zone. Oh, she's not in the melee. She can't do her burning hands. Magic missiles can only give us 7. Yeah, but if she can hit with that ray of frost and slow him down, he's not going to be able to escape. He'll have half movement, and Andor and Harbrick, or actually probably Andor, would be able to catch him, is the way I kind of feel about it. So let's have Mira do her ray of frost attack out of the zone. It's going to be a +5 versus fortitude of the Hexer, which is fortitude is 14. So let's roll that. And she still has her wand of accuracy, so she can add a +2 just in case also. Oh, almost critical. Rolled a 19. That's still a good hit. Nice. 1d6 plus 5. That is going to be 9 damage on the Hexer. He's down to 29. And let's go ahead and type on here. He is slowed. So it says, and the target is slowed until the end of your next turn. So let's go ahead and put this on here, add this, and it is slowed. Source's next turn. Awesome. No benefits else. Everybody else up. She didn't even need to use her wand of accuracy either. Do we want her to action point? I don't think we really need. Let's save it for our next encounter. I think we're okay for now. So Mira will hold right there where she's at. She moved. She standard actioned. Gain a +3 bonus to attack rolls you make during any action, and we're spending an action point. Ah, nice. That'll come in handy one of these times. All right, on to Andor. Guess what Andor's going to do? He's going after that he's going after that guy. Can't really get combat advantage against him, but he can get him out of the zone and try to keep him. Now that he's slowed, if he can get up on him, so he can go 1, 2, 3, 4. He can get up on him, and he can do a sly flourish. Gosh, I really wish he had a sneak attack damage, but he's not. Oh, maybe he can do a positioning strike. Oh, that's even better. Yes, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Positioning strike, and then what he could do is he could slide the target 3 squares. He can push him up to Harbrick. Okay, positioning strike. 1d20 plus 9 versus will, and the Hexer's will is at 16. And he is not in the zone, so. Oh, is it a hit? Yes, it is. Oh, 9 and 9. Whew, that was close. Okay, so positioning strike, he's going to take 1d4 plus 5. Come on, max damage. Oh, almost. 8 damage onto the Hexer. Ooh, he's getting hit. Slowed. And with that positioning strike, you can slide the target 3 squares. Yes, please. 1, 2, 3. Right to Harbrick. Or do I want to slide him here? 1, 2. And then that way Harbrick can come down and get combat advantage and have a hit on him that he can he'll be in the zone, but still. Oh, he could just go 1, slide him 1, 2, and then Harbrick can get out of the zone, come down, come out and around. He could come like 1, 2, 3, 4 and get in there. But he's going to have to break off from the rat. What do we want to do? Do we just want to send him up? I think so. I think we send him up. That way Harbrick can mark him as he's slowed, and then he can, if he tries to attack anybody else, he's taking a nice hit from Harbrick. Good job, Andor. Good job. I know you're down on healing surges, but that was a good move. Nothing minor action. He took his move and everything. Nice positioning strike. Harbrick, he's like, oh, look, a Hexer in front of me. And he's got somebody next to him. So let's go ahead and cleave. Let's do a cleave. He'll target the Hexer. And will the Hexer be able to rechange the target? Adjacent ally, he sure can. So maybe, yeah, let's just still do it. No, because then he'll change the target with his cleave, and then the damage will just go all to there and not to him. So we're going to target the rat first, and then we'll cleave into there. We're not going to be able to get the marking on it because he's going to mark the rat. But let's try a cleave. Let's try a cleave. +7 versus AC, because the lower AC on the rat is 15, and then we'll still get the well, actually it's -2 also because of the zone. But if he hits the rat, he'll still get the 3 that goes on to the Hexer. So let's try that. +5, 1d20 +5 versus AC of 15 on the giant rat. Ooh, is it going to hit? No. Ah. And an enemy adjacent to you other than the target takes 3 damage. Only on a hit. And it's not a hit. See, that wouldn't have buffed it up either, too. Oh, do I want to spend the action point? I really, really don't. But he could, oh, maybe he should have knocked the target prone with the +7. Yeah, because then he could just targeted him anyway. Anyway, okay, he's good where he's at. Maybe I'll have him shift down here. No, let's keep him up there. That way we can get some better positioning on him. Perrin, gosh. You know, we just really need to get rid of this minion. But at the same time, we really need to get rid of this this other guy. But he could just bounce any sort of ranged attack off him. Oh, that's another thing too. I guess it really wouldn't have been. It's a cleave, as where the hexers ranged attack when targeted by a ranged attack. So we could have just totally attacked him, but it still would have missed. All right, it still worked out. Still worked out the way it was supposed to. Let's see what we want Perrin to do. Oh, we can still do it to where the healing strike marks the target, but he killed that one. He's already slowed, so grasping hands won't come into effect. I guess he's either on a sacred flame. Let's just go ahead and have him do a lance of faith onto the rat. And then he can give somebody within, somebody he can see will get a +2 bonus, which that'll probably end up being Mira. Let's do the Lance of Faith. Perrin's going to attack. There's Lance of Faith +4 versus Reflex on the rat, which it's 15. And he gets the +4 -2 because he's still in the zone. And against the rat, armor class of 15. Come on, Perrin. Oh, rolled right off that 16. Rolled a 9. That is a miss. He still does have a move action. He's got 5, so we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of move around to get into position that way. Because now it's going to be the Hexer's turn. Gosh, what is he going to do with the zone with the miner? He really needs to get Mira in there. Let's see. I mean, he could do that, but then he's leaving himself wide open for Andor. Is he more concerned about Mira right now, or is he more concerned about Andor? It's kind of in a pickle. He's in a little bit of a pickle here. I mean, the zone was right there. We know his Mira's coming up in Andor too, so I'm going to say he's more focused on what's happening down here and these guys being too close to him right now. So he'll move the zone over here like this. He's got to let the wizard do their thing. But we'll leave it at that. And then the Hexer, he can smack somebody with his rod, but he can also shift away, which he does not want to get into combat advantage with Andor coming up shortly right after him. So I guess he would shift back 1 maybe. Yeah, let's have him shift back 1. Him being worried Oh, let's see if his stinging hex recharges to 5 or 6. That's a 4. Does not recharge. So he's only got a blinding hex, 1d10. Oh, that's what he'll do. He is going to shoot, shift back 1, and then he's going to blinding hex Mira. That way the zone keeps these guys off him with -2s. But then he can have Mira be blinded for save ends. And that could actually help solve his problem. So +7 versus fortitude? No, +7 versus fortitude, which Mira's fortitude is the lowest at 12. Oh boy. Let's see what happens. That's going to be a hit. That's a 20 hit. So 2d6 plus 1. Mira's going to take, pretty low damage. 4 damage is all. That's not bad. 4 damage. And is blinded. Yeah, I can't see. Yes, so her condition is blinded. And let's see what that's going to do to her. I think that people have, yeah, she takes, can't see, which means targets have total concealment against her. And she's granting combat advantage. Ooh, that's not good. Mira, let's add a blinded. Save ends. Okay. Oh, by the way, that bloodied the hexer. Woohoo! But Mira can't see, so she'll have to make a saving throw on the end of her next turn. Because I think she's granting total concealment. So what that means is she takes a -5 penalty to attack rolls if she tries to target something. Yeah, that could be bad. Let's see what happens. So Goblin Hexer, yeah, not bad. He's kind of solved his problem, put his Vexing Cloud in there on the melee guys, but he's still bloodied from, what was it? Who hit him? Gosh, I can't remember now. I think it was Perrin. Or Harbrick or something. Anyway, the bloodied him down to 21, unless I put it on the wrong person. Nope, Mira's down to 17. Nope. Did I click on the wrong person here for damage? $1d4 plus 5. Yeah, that was okay. That was Perrin. I mean Andor. All right, no, I'm good. Trying to retcon my own retcons here, but you know it's good. I just didn't catch it and read it out. So, but he's slowed. So, but he did shift 1 away to use his move action. Then he blinding hexed Mira, and then he's going to hold right there. I guess we could have had him Goblin Tactics when he got missed by Harbrick. But we'll move on. Giant Rat number 1. He's right there by both of them. He's not marked by anybody either. So let's do the same thing. Harbrick is odds, and Perrin is evens. Who's he going to go after? He's going after Harbrick this time. +6 versus AC. Against Harbrick's AC of 18. Oh, is that enough? That is enough. He hits him for 3 damage on Harbrick. Okay, Harbrick down to 28 hit points. And then we'll say that the hexer, being the controller leader that he is, commands the rat to shift back one down to him, so that just in case he's targeted by a ranged attack, he's got somebody next to him. Still good position. And that's all that the giant rat can do. Mira's turn. Okay, Mira is blinded. I can't see. Do we have her wait till the end of her turn and try to save? Or do we go on and just go ahead and try to have her blast? That's a good question. What is a saving throw? Let me go look it up real quick, because I know that happens at the end. Saving throws. Okay. The saving throw is a special D20. When making a save. Okay, so this save ends. So you just roll the D20. Roll a 9 or lower, the saving throw fails. Roll a 10 or higher, successful. And I know it happens at the end of their turn. When to make saving throws. The game rules explains when to make the saving throws. Yep. Save ends. So basically, it'll be at the end of her turn to the save ends, because you make a saving throw at the end of your turn, if I remember correctly. If a creature is subject to an effect that a save can end, that creature makes a saving throw against the effect at the end of each of its turns. Okay, there you go. That was right. So, you know what though? She's got magic missile. That is an auto hit. So she knows she's blinded. She knows the general direction of where this slowed hexer is. She's going to blast off a magic missile and do 7 damage to him. The beauty about an auto hit, down to 14. Hexer is down there. Mira will I think she'll stay there, because I know when you're blinded, doesn't say anything. She's granting combat advantage, but doesn't say anything about movement. But she can't see. She's not prone or anything. The creature can't see. So I'll just have her stay there. Stay in her spot. She kind of knew the general direction with her magic missile. She blasted it out, hit the hexer, continuing its damage, and then let's move on. Andor. Good positioning strike. But he just, with that hexer moving away, it's not going to give him. Oh man, if we had Perrin going first, he could use his knack for success of getting Harbrick put in. Maybe. Oh, I got an idea. I'm going to have Andor delay his turn until after Harbrick. Yes. So we're going to put him at 12 initiative. I'll put him at, let's do this. I'll put Perrin at 11. Actually, at 10. Nope, I messed that up. 11. Whoops, not 11. 100. And put the hexer at 10. I have to jump all over the place here. And then Andor, I'm going to put down to 12. I'll put him at 11, see what happens. There we go. Andor is going to delay until after Harbrick. And in the initiative order, so that he could get a nice strike on him like this. So he's delayed. Now, let me make sure I got the delayed rules right. Because that is a... Look it up. Delay. It's a free action. Delay until later initiative. That's what he did. Return to the initiative order. After any turn has been completed, the creature can step back into the initiative order and take its turn. The creature's initiative changes to the new position in the initiative order. Yeah, so he'll just remain right there. Okay, perfect. So we're going on to Harbrick. And obviously, Harbrick is going to shift over here. And he is going to Reaping Strike. Yep, he'll go ahead and Reaping Strike the slowed Hexer. And that will be a +7 versus AC. And the Hexer's AC is 17. There you go. 19 is a hit. With that, it'll be 2d6 plus 4. Ooh, 12 damage. Oh, he's down to 2 hit points left. Oh, that Hexer's in dire straits. And guess who's coming up next? Andor the Slaughter Machine. Okay, so Harbrick's got nothing else he needs to do there. He's in position for a good flank with Andor. Andor shifts up 1. And then he's going to do his Sly Flourish. +9. Oh, wait a second. I did mess up, but I still hit. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. They have a -2, all enemies in the zone here. So even with the -2, he still hit, just barely. Harbrick hit the Hexer. So now I'll just keep that in mind as I roll Andor's with a -2. Sly Flourish. So it's going to be a +7 with the hexing, but then add the +2 because he is flanking now, and flanking with Harbrick back to his +9. Otherwise, he would have had 11, and it's going against Sly Flourish is against AC of 17 of the Hexer. Let's roll it. Oh, do we hit? No! That Hexer. Yeah. What can you say? Sometimes the dice just don't go your way. That would have been beautiful. 1d8 plus there. I'm sure it would have done him in. He's only got 2 hit points left. Now, and these are not ranged attacks, by the way, so he can't deflect them. I did kind of mess that up. Mira's Magic Missile. Maybe I should retcon this. Mira's Magic Missile is a ranged attack. The Hexer was hit by it for 7 damage. It should have actually deflected over to the giant rat number 1, is what it should have done. So let's retcon this a little bit. 7 damage. I'm going to get healing on there, so he's up to 9. And then I'm going to say that the 7 damage got put on the giant rat, and we'll send it to the graveyard. Yeah, just to make sure we're doing this kind of right, because I did forget about that. It's ranged attacks that the Hexer has. It's lead from the rear. When targeted by a ranged attack, the Goblin Hexer can change the attacker's target to an adjacent ally of its level or lower. So the giant rat was definitely It's level lower, a lower level. So it's just a matter of time anyway. So Andor missed with his attack. Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling it to where he wants to action point to kill this thing off. But we'll trust in Perrin. Um, we'll trust in Perrin. He's got no adjacent allies to do anything, so he's going to Lance of Faith from where he's at, +4 versus its reflex of 15. So 1d20 +4 versus a 15 AC. And that is a miss. Oh, and it's also, that was a 5 because I forgot to take off the -2 of the zone. My goodness. Still got a move action. Or minor. I don't think we need healing right now. Mira's kind of the only one that hurts, but she can use it out of combat. Perrin. Yeah, I think we need to keep him away. So maybe seeing that this zone is just messing with his magic, let's have him move out. Because the 2 have him flanked off pretty well. Next, the Hexer, I think we'll just go ahead and, he's got to try to shift. I was thinking of Perrin's knack for success too. But he wouldn't plan until he sees what the Hexer does. Let's go ahead. The Hexer, yeah, he does not like being flanked, even though he was able to dodge a couple attacks there. He's slowed, so he can only really shift, but if he moves more than that, they're going to get an opportunity attacks, both of them. So does he want to go to the center of the room, or does he want to go towards the wall? I think he would more want to go towards the center of the room like this and try to get away. When he does that, he'll probably try to blind somebody else. I think he's more scared now of these ranged people, so he's going to try to blinding hex Perrin right now. +7 versus fortitude. And that is going to be against Perrin's fortitude of 12. Woof, that's low. See what happens. He missed. Wow. Missed. Yeah, blinding hex. I did forget to roll Mira's save too. That last round. So on round 4. So let me roll that real quick just to see if she's not blinded anymore. She is no longer blinded. Mira, let's take that off. Take it off on the text. Because her turn's coming up here pretty soon too. All right, rolled a 19 on her save. Goblin Hexer is in dire straits here. He's in the center of the room now. I guess better than getting pinned in the corner, but he can't really get out. They're coming after him. Mira's turn. She can see him quite very well. He's got 9 hit points. I think she goes for. Does she go for the kill? Or does she just go ahead and soften him up with 7, another magic missile? What's its lowest score? It's reflex. It's fortitude. She does have a ray of frost, but he's slowed already. Is he still slowed? No, because it's to the end of her turn, so he is not slowed anymore. He's just still shifting around. So I think she's probably going to want to try to go for the kill with a ray of frost and slow it until the end of her next turn again. So let's do against fortitude +5. She's not in the zone. And it's going to go against the Hexer's Fortitude of 14. And that's going to be a hit. Guess who's slowed again? I guess I should have just left it on there. And let's just go ahead and put that on there too. Slowed until the end of Source's next turn. Yep. And Mira, also that way, is going to do 1d6 plus 5. This is a chance to end it. Let's see what happens. And this is cold damage. Oh, is that enough? It is. 10 damage. Yes, Mira. So that will, I'll take the slow it off here. That will send our Hexer and his little zone of negative 2-ness to the grave. I could take off this. I'll leave that there for now. Our surprise round that didn't surprise. Thanks, Perrin. And with that, we have completed encounter number 2, the Hall of Vermin. That Hexer was kind of a pain in the butt, but the team found their way around it and/or did take a lot more damage again. Let me take this slowed off because it doesn't matter. Let's end the encounter. And let's remove all the monsters because they are dead. They are dead, dead, dead. And yeah, Andor is down to 2 healing surges left. So he's at 23 of 25 hit points. He's not going to need any healing right now. Harbrek has taken no damage this encounter. Amazing. Mira, on the other hand, has taken some damage. Let's go ahead and use one of her healing surges and give her 5 hit points back. And we're also going to call that one of Perrin's healing words, so she'll get an extra 1d6 plus 3. Oh, great. So 4 more to Mira, which will bring her back up to full. And then Perrin's okay. It is 21 of 26. All right, so I think we're good there going into the next encounter. For them taking some short rests, using some healing surges, and it's just Andor, that crazy little halfling, jumping in there and getting into the fray and getting knocked around. I mean, he was down to 4 hit points at one point. That's pretty bad. But then, thanks to Perrin and keeping his sight on the on that crazy little halfling and getting him healed back up with a good healing strike. I know last chamber that they were in there, he missed with that and was not able to give him any healing. But this time he did hit him, did some really good damage, and allowed Andor to spend a healing surge. Then also was able to use a healing word also to bolster up Andor in that too. So at the end of this encounter and after an extended rest, Andor is sitting at 23 hit points out of 25 with 7 of 2 healing surges. Harbrek is at 28 out of 31 hit points with 10 out of 12 healing surges, so he's got plenty. He needs to get in there, start tanking. Mira is at 23 of 23, and she's at 23 of 23 hit points. She's got 5 out of 7 healing surges. And Perrin is at 21 of 26, and he's got 7 of 9. So not too bad. They did really well. They were able to take out all of them. And, like I said, Andor got close. That was about it. They were doing pretty good. Anyway, till next time, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you then.